Welcome everybody to episode 24 of the effing title. And tonight, my guest has a beard that might rival mine. He's a longtime follower. I consider him a good friend now. I talk about him every now and then on stream. He has easily the best name, one of the best names on Twitch. It is the Bearded Bigfoot. Is it okay if I just call you Bigfoot?
Absolutely, bearded. Hey you.
All
works for me.
So how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Fun day. Just an easy, nice, relaxing day today. Trying to keep everything. But so for today, so why don't you tell the good people out there a little bit about you?
I'm the Bearded Bigfoot, smoking a stogie right now. Deadwood tobacco, Sweet Jane. It's fantastic. Trying to become a cigar connoisseur if I can. Probably won't be. Just living the good gaming life. Waiting for the next big release, next consoles, and please release the damn prices for the new consoles.
Amen to that. So I forgot when you followed on the channel, but I think it was around football of last year, I think, or something like that. There was something. I want to say it was football based. I don't remember, honestly. I just remember seeing you followed. I saw your name and I was like, that might be the greatest fucking name ever, But it's been a while.
Yeah. I remember I was creeping on your page, and I think you have you can see who's watching up or at the time, and you just started talking about my name, so I dropped the follow.
That's funny.
And you've helped me out a few times and trying to repay the favor.
Yeah, as I've said, many different times, I like to try and help my community as much as I can. My community has helped me get to where I am, so I want to be able to help my community get to where they want to be. Yes, John, he is smoking a stogie right now. So the topics for tonight, really cool topics. All gaming based, love it. It's all kind of I think a lot of them are kind of opinion based, which is always a fun back and forth. We have console exclusives, good or bad. We have the golden or dark age of gaming. COVID's impact on gaming, and then the newest reoccurring feature on the channel, which is my life as a... So let's get right into this. So console exclusives, good or bad? This was an interesting one. Before I actually get into this topic, I just want to say all these topics, as soon as you sent me them, I was like, these are cool topics.
I thought so too. I was racking my brain and I was like, what's better than gaming topics? I love talking about games. There's nothing better.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, and it's just I like it, because if you were console exclusives for just the Xbox One, then it's it puts everything in such a little box, I like the fact that the topics were open, but they're also like I said a minute ago, they're very opinionated, right? So there can be a good back and forth between anyone listening, hearing, talking about these topics. So console exclusives, good or bad? Very interesting thing. So good or bad? What was the idea behind the good or bad aspect of it?
So we're getting all these games released for PlayStation. PlayStation's having the new the Horizons game, and you have this new Spider-Man, and all these good games coming out for that. But I've been a Microsoft fan for decades, and I love the console way more than Sony, but Microsoft's lacking on those exclusives unless you like Halo.
Yeah.
And I know the new Hellblade is coming out for the Xbox, which that's seriously contention for the new system.
Oh yeah, well, the funny thing is so that's the reason why I actually played the first Hellblade. Was I saw the trailer for the second one, because of course I've been Xbox since college, right? So I saw the second trailer and I was like, God damn, I was like, this looks crazy. And then I just so happened to see that it was available on Game Pass. And I was like, all right, let's, fuck it. Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. And, now it's being uploaded onto my YouTube, So.
Yeah, it was. I had beaten it before the third one was released. And it was one of those games that I've constantly kind of seen back and forth. And I was like, I don't know if I want to play it or not. And then I was just like, one day I was like, fuck it, let's play it. And then I was like, oh my God, this game is insanely good.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of like, for me, just touching on that real quick, there's one part in it where, I forgot what it was. There was like, there's one little segment where like, I think it's like maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours into it. The voices were getting to me. Like, actually to me. And I started freaking out and I was like, quiet, shut up. And then I noticed what I had just done. And it was like one of those things where like I was so immersed in the game that the voices were actually fucking with me.
So the new consoles, I'm super stoked for that. They have 3D audio built into them, and you're not trying to just rely on the game. They all have that, and that aspect for horror games coming up. Oh God.
I can only imagine. I literally can only imagine.
I mean, can you imagine playing like the Blair Witch? I played a little bit of it, not a whole lot, but the sounds just are around you all the time.
That game fucked with me mentally so much. And like the funny thing is, like, if you watch back my videos of it on like YouTube, you can hear like when the woodpeckers are in the background.
Yeah.
I'm jumping. Like, I can only imagine what it's going to be like on the next system when shit like that's happening,
So I just beat The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay, I thought you were about to say, like, I just beat fucking Ghosts of Tsushima there, and I was about to be like, God damn it, no. Bigfoot. Like,
no.
Like, damn.
No, I'm only in Act... I just started Act 2, and I don't know how many they are.
Okay.
But I know I've put in, like, 10 hours so far. But right now I'm going through side quests, because that's one of the few games that I've played that the side quests actually feel like it's achieving something.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's another exclusive. I mean, But the funny part is a lot of Sony and Microsoft games are now doing PC ports.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why not just release it to everybody?
And that's kind of the thing, is that like I think console exclusives are good. The way that I was thinking about this was, to me anyway, they feel like they are good for the companies, but they are bad for the consumer.
It sells products.
Yes.
That's what they want.
And that's
go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say that's the big thing, right? Because like you listed Spider-Man, you listed Ghost, you listed Last of Us. What was the Zero Dawn? Was that it?
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. Like those are just some titles that are PlayStation exclusives.
Right.
But like you get like Uncharted is a PlayStation exclusive, isn't it? Or am I wrong about that? Yeah. So like you get someone that's an Uncharted fan, they're going to be PlayStation just because they're a fan of the game.
Right. And don't get me wrong, I kind of see the point of the exclusive for the company side, but as a consumer side, it's like we're all gamers at heart. It doesn't matter realistically. Yeah, we have our preferences: Sony, Xbox, PC, Nintendo, Sega if you want. I mean, they haven't made a console since 2000, but
yeah, right.
But we're all gamers here, and we just want to play the damn game. Just even if you pull like a BioShock, where the first one was an Xbox exclusive, and then after it won Game of the Year, they released it for Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Do something like that. Yeah. I wouldn't be upset about it. Wait, give it a year, give it 2 years. Hey, we'll eventually release it. And then it doesn't make those. I mean, it will still make the exclusives hard, because do I want to play them now when they're spoiler free, or do I want to?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Or do you want to wait? Or do you want to play them a little bit later, but you may have seen something that spoils something in the game?
Right. Now, I'm pretty good about not watching things for games I want to play.
Yeah.
Like Last of Us, they apparently months ago they had a big drop. Somebody dropped something and I never figured out what it was. I never cared to. I was like, I want to keep it a surprise, even though I knew it was going to be a main character dying.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Spoilers.
that's why I didn't say names.
Yeah, no, I mean it's kind of so like for me the big one was Batman Arkham Knight. I waited until midnight to go get Arkham Knight, right? Got Arkham Knight. I got a ton of stuff that night actually. I got Arkham Knight. I got the video game. I got a T-shirt. I got like a toy. I got like a ton of different stuff. Went to GameStop at midnight. Got all of it, and I was just kind of rocking and rolling. Went home, played it for I don't know. I think 4 days straight. And I was just kind of fucking around doing side quests, like you said, and just enjoying the game. And I'm scrolling up on Instagram, I think it was, and suddenly I see one of the big reveals of, and I won't say anything because I know I have some friends that are playing the games right now and they don't know it. The big kind of twist reveal that happens.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw that on my Instagram, and it immediately made me want to stop playing the game.
Yeah, I understand that. It ruins the game. I don't know why people get off on the experience for people.
Well, my thing was, so for me, the thing was the fact that, like, because I'm a DC fan, I follow so many different DC channels. So it was just one of those things where just scrolling down my page of just it shows up, showed up.
Yeah, I think I know.
But yeah, no, I mean,
since I played Arkham Knight, but I'm pretty sure I know what's revealed.
Yeah, you probably do. So John had a good point here. John said Microsoft is PC. They win either way. They win more on console, but they still own 99% of the PC market. Sony can do PlayStation exclusives, but their market is smaller. And I agree with that. I mean, and that's kind of that's kind of the opposite side of it, right? Where you don't really think about that,
See, I think Ghosts is going to get an Epic release eventually. I'm not sure when, but it will be PC. They're planning on making all PlayStation 5s PC available.
Yeah, well, I mean, and also think about it like this. I mean, the huge one that happened recently was Halo.
Right.
All Halo games can now be played on PC. Like that
makes a lot of people. Why am I buying an Xbox?
Yeah. And also now they're going to be real, and like I think I need to find the date because I'm going to do a reaction to it on the channel. But Halo Infinite trailer comes out in the next like week.
See, I was never a big Halo fan, so that no real.
So the funny thing for me is that I wasn't either. I used to play Halo with my buddies. And it's funny thinking back now, because I used to play with them, and they used to be sweaty as fuck. I mean, like, they were going, like, 30-3, 40-2, like, that sort of thing, like, when we were playing.
Right.
And I was the guy that was going, like, 2-10. Now, 20 fucking years later, or, 10 years later, 15 years later, whatever the fuck timeline it is, I'm now the guy that's going,
So, do you remember going to like malls and shit that have those gaming stores? You go rent the game and go play it in the store. One day they were doing a Halo tournament. I had never played Halo, and I was like, let's play. So I signed up for a Halo tournament, only playing Halo like once ever before, and I was like 10-15 or something like that. Not great, but not like horrible. And I was the first one kicked out of the tournament by like 2 kills. If I had gotten 2 more kills, I wouldn't have been kicked out.
Jesus.
I was like, looking back on that, I was like, I didn't have any Halo experience.
That's awesome.
Signed up for a Halo tournament.
That's awesome. I mean, and like that, I think that's like the one that I've heard from a lot of different people. And of course, mind you, like I'm going to say this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what I've heard from different people, is that PlayStation seems to be the game. The PlayStation seems to be the console that you get if you want the exclusives. Xbox is the game that Xbox is the console you get if you want to play with games or like play with friends. And that's kind of the way that I've seen and heard people talk about it like that,
What I've heard is you go Xbox for entertainment and PlayStation for gaming is what I've heard.
Yeah. I can see that.
I think the Xbox is easier to navigate, and it's easier to learn everything on it.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, shout out to my boy Boo Boo Black Ops. We traded something at one point. I gave him a bunch of stuff. He gave me a PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when he first gave me, he gave me PS4 and a bunch of games. And he's like, here, he's like, you can sell this. It's about the same price as what I traded him. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, like, let's see what happens. And I remember booting it up because he was like, hey, make sure that, like, you know, you get, like, you know, you get all the stuff off of it first. So I was like, oh, yeah, I can do that. So I got all the stuff off of it. And then I remember like being like, "Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see what this is like. You know, let's see what the PlayStation's like." And I remember spending a good hour trying to figure out how to make the fucking sound work.
Yeah.
Like,
well, so streaming on the PlayStation is really hard for me because Xbox hook it right into my capture card, record sound, no issues, no problems.
Yeah.
Plug the PlayStation in. And I have to plug the controller into the capture card, and then I have to plug my headphones into the capture card so it captures the sound. Because if you plug in anything to the PlayStation controller, it captures the sound towards the TV.
Oh, okay.
So if I just plug my headphones directly into the controller, it cancels all the sound towards anything else.
Jesus. See, the way that I do it is I have the companion app on my computer.
Yeah. You have that delay though.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a delay, but like, so the thing is that like I'm not watching my second monitor. I'm watching my like actual TV when I do it. So I'm playing games how I've always played games at that point, you know, like that sort of thing. And like for the stream, like yeah, it's a little bit delayed, but my headset and everything is through my laptop, not my Xbox. So, you know, I mean, like, you know, kind of that the great part of the effing title where we fucking veer off in some random direction because we saw a butterfly and we chased after it. You know, console exclusives are, I think it's interesting in today's world. I think back in the day, I think it was a bigger thing than it is today, if that makes any sense. Because I feel like today everybody and their mother, Jesus. Everybody and their mother is playing multiplayer games, cross-platform games, free-to-play games, you know, like that sort of thing.
Right. Don't get me started on free-to-play games. Literally the definition of bullshit on a gaming console.
See, like I agree, but at the same time, like my thing as well that I love about it is that it's such a finesse thing. You know, if you know the way that I'm using that word, it's such a finesse thing what they've done. You know, like, hey, this is free to play. But if you want to spend $20 every 3 months for a battle pass, that's cool. And also we got these cool things that change your character up because you know eventually you're gonna like get connected to a character, so then you can like be like one of these characters. So like, you know, you can buy skins for them and then look really cool. Also, you know, you have your favorite gun and you can put certain things on your gun, but you got to buy all of these. It's such a finesse thing, bro. And I was like, when I first saw it, like I remember when I was coaching and Fortnite was like hit it. Right, around like season 2, season 3 of Fortnite, when everything was kind of hitting and it became like that's when it became like big. I remember my kids like fucking staying up all night playing it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, bro, like yeah, okay, Fortnite, yeah, you guys are cool, you know. Fast forward 4 years later, and I was playing Fortnite yesterday, you know. So I was like, and that's the thing is that like I think, and this kind of goes into this, like where I'm going with this kind of leads into the next category or the next topic. But I think that we are in a day and age where gaming companies look more at Twitch and YouTube than they do anything else. Like they look at the streaming things to see what the big name things are.
To some degree, some degree, I guess. I agree.
So like the reason why I say that is because like The Last of Us, right? I mean, The Last of Us came out what 2 months ago.
Last of Us Part 2 came out not even a month ago.
Okay, so not even a month ago, right?
I think it's a month ago right now.
Okay, so like, but huge big game, right?
Right.
Okay, it has 3.9 thousand viewers right now.
Well, yeah, but if you were to go look at it when it first came off.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like, but that, like, so, and this is my thing with because of it being a console exclusive sort of thing, and it being that sort of, and I know you and me have talked about this before, that story mode, you play it, kind of thing, right? I mean, Rocket League has 5.7, Magic the Gathering has 5.8, Call of Duty Black Ops 7.4. I mean, Overwatch 20.
Yeah, but if you go look at the top, you're looking at what, Apex?
Nope.
Looking at Fortnite.
So right now, top five right now is just chatting. Fortnite.
Right, that's always
Yeah.
top 2 at least.
Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, League of Legends, Minecraft.
Minecraft is still up there.
Oh yeah,
That's
Minecraft. It's crazy how Minecraft is always up there, but like,
it fluctuates so badly. It'll literally go from one day where it's like 2,000 people, and then the next day it's 108,000 people, and then the next day it's 20,000 people.
Yeah, and it's I just like I'm and like I said, it's one of those things. Like, it leads into the next topic of golden or dark age of gaming. I think the console exclusives are becoming a thing that people really don't care about anymore. This is one of those things. You play the game, and as soon as the game's over with, you're done playing it. Right? Like, I played Hellblade. As soon as I got done playing Hellblade, I wasn't like, hey, I want to replay Hellblade.
Well, yeah, that game's not really built for the replayability, though.
Oh, of course not.
So the golden age, that question came about of when. Okay, in the last, let's say, 5 years. Let's just go 5 years back. Name one character that is memorable that has only come out in the last 5 years.
In the last 5 years?
Last 5 years, name one character that everybody is like.
Oh, everybody, Jesus.
Yeah, like everybody knows, or everybody.
And we're talking like from a console exclusive, right?
Well, not even a console exclusive, just gaming in general. Like,
and just gaming in general? I mean,
yeah, so you can't say like Kratos, because that game, yeah, I think it came out, I don't know when the last God of War came out. It's been a few years, but
yeah,
realistically, Kratos started in 2006 or 7 on the first one, and then it continued over. I mean, I can think of one off the top of my head right now, and it's Alloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. You can realistically say that one, because that game was a pretty big hit.
Yep. I mean, like, I was going to say Spider-Man.
But again...
But yeah, it's that's one of those ones. I mean, like, it's one to say because of the game, but then also there's the fact that it's fucking Spider-Man. Like.
So yeah, Spider-Man, the game was fantastic. I loved Spider-Man. I've played it, I've beaten it, and I loved it. I think I've beaten it twice, in fact. And I'm looking forward to
the Miles Morales one.
The Miles Morales one.
Yep.
It's gonna be different because the thing I had a big issue about the Spider-Man game. I know we're going a little off topic, but Spider-Man can lift what, like 10 tons or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And yet he hits softer than Batman. And it's like, okay, this kid who can lift a truck off the ground with his hands can't punch harder. I mean, you could swing, drop kick somebody in the face, and it wouldn't knock him out. And it was just that was. And then there's supposedly Miles Morales isn't even as strong as Spider-Man, but he has the Venom punches, which, again, we're kind of getting off topic there, but I'm just kind of curious how that's going to play out. Yeah. But back to Golden Age. So, no, there's been no big names. I mean, like, if you go look back at the 80s, 90s, I mean, you have Mario, you have Pac-Man, you have Miss Pac-Man. I mean, you can go on and on. Luigi, Sonic.
I was gonna throw Sonic out there.
I
Donkey
mean,
Kong,
you
Samus.
yes. I mean, Pokemon originated.
Yep.
You can Pikachu, or I mean Charmander, or you can say the starting three, Mewtwo. You
Hmm.
have all these characters who are memorable. Now, this may be the old man in me saying that no characters are memorable anymore,
Well, no, I mean
but
it's so, and this is what leads into the console exclusive thing is because the console exclusive and the next part and the next topic is that I feel like in today's day and age, like we don't have those characters anymore because of the franchise games like Call of Duty, where I
ah,
mean, like for instance, Call of Duty has Captain Price. I think almost everyone knows Captain Price, even if you're not a Call of Duty fan. If someone shows you kind of a picture of him, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that guy before, right?
so again, I think the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out
Hmm.
in like 2007.
Oh yeah.
So again, that question is there a memorable character?
So like
Now,
that's so like for me being me, because I'm an Overwatch fan, right? I could
right.
list off all the Overwatch characters because it hasn't even been. I don't think it's been 5 years since Overwatch came out. I,
No,
you can list all the Apex Legends characters, but the thing is, though, is that both of those are not console exclusives.
no, and you have people like myself who I don't play those big. It's not one of those, not MMOs, battle royales. Is that the new genre?
Battle Royale and just FPS.
FPS.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't play those, so I don't
Hmm.
know those characters, and I know there's a lot of people out there kind of like me that don't like that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The only Call of Duty I have never played is Black Ops 4 because it was only battle royale, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah. See, like
So
I've never been a Call of Duty guy. You know.
I mean, when the mood strikes me, I'll play. It's fun to play with friends. But again, I don't play Warzone.
Mhm.
I just don't. But
I don't play Warzone because I get tooled on enough playing Apex, let alone playing Warzone. Like that's literally the only reason why I don't play Warzone. I remember when Warzone first came out, I was at work and I put Tim on, Tim the Tatman, and he was playing it.
right.
And I watched him play for an hour and a half while at work doing stuff. And in the hour and a half, I learned two things. One, holy shit, this game looks cool. And two, there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to kill anyone or be able to do anything good in this game. So at that point, I was like, nah, I'm good. Like,
Well, he's probably automatically put into a higher
oh,
class
yeah,
than
of course.
Call of Duty does have a pretty good matchmaking system that puts you into a group of people based off your skill. Because I'll go into a game by myself playing multiplayer, and I'll do okay.
Hmm.
I never probably great. So, I'll get 25, 30 kills and die 15 times,
Yeah.
but nothing fantastic. But then I go play with my friends who don't play either as much, or they just don't have that kills those KDs as good as I do, and I'll go through that. I'll clean house. I'll get like 40 and fives and just crush. I think I had one game where I was like 88 and 20 or something
God
stupid.
damn.
It was insane. Like, and I just run around with whatever gun I could pick up, or I
Hmm.
just find the toughest gun in the game and just start using it. And I just clean house. So they have a good system, but in the same time, this is where it gets tricky for me again with the good or bad age. That's not really. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah.
entertaining, but it doesn't build anything. It's just running around shooting people. It's kind of like sports games to me. I
Hmm.
love Foot Madden. I love NBA. Not a big MLB fan, but I love those two games. But after so long, it just becomes the same thing
Oh, yeah.
over.
Well, I mean, like,
Over.
and that's the thing, so moving into the golden or dark age of gaming, because like I said, I feel like these two kind of they play off of each other a little bit, because I know people that have. I honestly I feel like the majority of people that are gamers, streamers, they're like when the PS5 and the Xbox One X series comes out, they're just gonna cop both.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Again,
immediately, mind you, but they're gonna cop both.
hey, I just got a new follower, so I'm gonna do a quick shout out.
Yeah.
Steven, thank you for the follow, buddy. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Um, But yeah,
I feel like they so like console exclusives these days to me, I just feel like are it's one of like it's like I said, I enjoy some story mode games and some play through games. I mean, like you've seen me playing some, like I enjoy this, some that I enjoy playing. But overall, though, that's not what I want to do. You, however, on the other hand, that is what you want to do. So I think that it hits the console exclusive thing. It's more about the game rather than the exclusivity to which console it is. If
right.
that makes any sense. Because, like, for instance, if
So,
you were into Halo, for the story, then like yeah,
right.
you'd fucking play Halo. Like it's but you're not a Halo fan, so you're not going to.
So another thing is what the golden age is. I feel like games 10 years ago
Mm-hmm.
were full of the stories were full.
Yeah.
And they didn't have what I call artificial fillers.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, an artificial filler is like I can't stand games when you're told to do side quests to do the main quest.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like so you have to go like
You have to go
Dragon Age.
talk. Like you have to go talk to Jimmy, then you got to go talk to Samantha, then you got to go pick this grass, then you got to do this. And now that you've
Yeah.
done all of that, now you can continue doing the main story.
So the worst one was one of the worst games with that is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay.
A lot of people loved the game, just thought it was phenomenal. And I loved the first two. And I go in, and you have to earn these what's called points.
Okay.
To be able to buy the next location.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to earn EXP for these points only. And the only way you can't go like kill 100 people and that adds to the EXP. It's you have to complete jobs for the side quests that earn EXP. So I mean you're seriously grinding just to get enough points just to buy the next location to continue that story. And it just loses all interest in me.
Yeah, I was about to say and so that's the thing. Like with the Golden Age or Dark Age, like I feel like, and it's gonna be weird to say, I feel like we're in both.
It depends on what you like. I mean,
so like, well, like for me, like you look at, for instance, right? I'll use a very for instance thing. The newest Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer just came out, where it's a character trailer.
Which, by the way, that game looks fantastic.
So that's my thing, right? Is it like they've realized that like okay, the last few years like Odyssey and I can't think of the other one, Odyssey and whatever the hell the other one was. They realized that like they kind of like they did something cool, it's a little bit different, but like it's just something isn't hitting, right? It's not people aren't talking about Assassin's Creed anymore. I think them doing Vikings now, that's that's a big dick move. Slap it on the table, like here, whop. We're here now. We're back.
So, I've actually heard both sides of that story too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I've heard people not interested in it because they wanted feudal Japan.
Oh, see, there's already a game of that though, isn't there?
There's a
It's one of the it's one of the side scroller ones though, right?
Well, I think that was China.
Okay.
But yes. But no, I mean I never played that.
Yeah. So I mean, like my thing is like you look at a game like that, you look at a game like Hellblade 2, right? Visually it looks unreal. I can almost guarantee that the Halo trailer is going to be fucking unreal. I can almost guarantee it. I'm not going to guarantee because I don't do guarantees, but
that's gonna sell that console.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I heard the head of Microsoft saying that there's not going to be a AAA exclusive for the Xbox for the upcoming years.
Oh yeah, probably not.
And while I mean Sony has, I think Spider-Man is supposed to be a launch exclusive. I don't think Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be one quite yet.
Yeah. I mean, and yet again, so like, of course, I just listed off the Microsoft games, but those Sony games as well, those look incredible, right?
Right.
Of course, I've always been saying it wrong, but the Ghosts of how the hell do you say the last part of it?
I think it's Tsushima I think it's Tsushima.
Tsushima? Okay. So, like, that game, I've been watching you play it. It's fucking incredible. You know?
It's so
Death Stranding. It's incredible. So, like, I think we're in the golden age there, but then you look at the dark age side of it. We're at a time right now where battle royals just dominate everything.
right, and this streaming,
Yeah.
it's hard to get noticed on those non battle royale games. I mean, I know some of the top ones aren't Minecraft, but but uh but it's hard to get seen, and it's like I don't enjoy those. So why can't we start a single player type situation?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I
think,
think for the graphic point of view, if you're looking at graphics alone, we're absolutely in the golden age, and we're only getting better with the next gen. The
oh
next
yeah,
gen stuff works.
they released an image of from the UFC, the new UFC game.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks
I showed it to my old man, and my dad, like, my dad swears a little bit. I showed it to my dad, and he's like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me!" And looks at me, like, eyes wide open. I was like, "Whoa, whoa, dad, calm down." Like, um, but yeah, no, I mean, it's just like, one of the things I forgot what it was. Remember when Fortnite really kind of Fortnite hit at one point, and it became the talking point for everyone. And then it came out, and it's like Fortnite has the same, like, releases the same endorphins into your brain as doing cocaine or something like
right.
that, right? Like, that's where the dark age of, like, that's why I think we're also in the dark age of gaming, is because it is one of those things where you get a kill, instant gratification,
Right.
right? You make it in the top 10, instant gratification.
Well, I mean, I don't watch much Ninja, but I think when he gets a victory, he dances.
Yeah, I don't watch
Like,
Ninja either. I
like
mean,
somebody
but
does
yeah,
that. I
like,
think maybe
it's
Dom.
like, so, like, there's those things though, right? Like, it's that instant thing of, like, an endorphin, like, you feel good because you're doing this, and I feel like, especially with how long these battle royale games now have been out, is that's kind of, it's starting to change the way, because of course, especially with the kids, it's starting to change the way they play games. Because, like, for instance, if they try and sit down and play Hellblade,
Right.
they're gonna get bored within a few minutes. Because there's no endorphin boost that's happened. And that's where I think the dark age of gaming is coming in right now. I think it's more of our generation, and, like, maybe a 5 year gap forward and below, right?
Right.
Because we came up with the old school, like, here's Super Mario for the N64.
Right. I mean, and
Here's
that
here's this on the Sony. Here's this. Here's that. So we grew up with all these things. So now, yeah, we have these instant gratification games that we can play. But
so at that same time, are we making games too easy? Because I feel like back in Super Mario, I had a NES and I had the original Mario for that. I don't remember making it very far because that game was hard. I was little.
Yeah. 100%. I
I
mean,
don't ever remember. Or one of the games that I had was Battletoads. Let me tell you what. That game is that one's a fun one.
Yeah,
You don't know what that is.
you put a kid down
Go
these
research
days with
that one.
fucking Battletoads, and they're breaking the controller.
Yeah.
Like,
Could you imagine handing one of these 10-year-old kids playing
oh my
Fortnite?
god, like, they,
Give him like, hey, you want to play something really fun? Let's play some Battletoads.
yeah, they would fucking lose their shit, bro. Oh my god. When it's like, it's one of those things, like, and I've talked about it on stream before. I never beat Super Mario 64. I never beat The Legend of Zelda, but my mom did. I didn't, but my mom's did. My mom's an OG. My mom kills it, bro. My mom right now, every day, if I see my ma, shout out to my ma, if I see my ma in her store while I'm working or something, and I go and check it and hang out with her for a moment, almost twice to 3 times a week, she'd be like, "Hey, look what I caught on Pokemon Go," and she has every fucking Pokemon on there. She has, like, every iteration, every shiny, every different version. Like, she's, like, crushing that game. And I'm sitting there like, holy shit, mom. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're doing better than me at this. But, like, and that's the thing, though, is it's like, there's so many games today as well. Like, you look back in the day, with what game options we had, we didn't really have that many options.
That is also true.
Like, you look at it.
it wasn't the billion-dollar industry, trillion-dollar industry,
Exactly.
whatever it is now.
I mean, like, it's one of
Probably
those things.
trillion.
It's like, it's like I can, let's see, I can name, can I name? Yeah, I can name 5 Battle Royale games right now. Can you name 5 games that you would put that like in the same contention as Mario Kart back in the day?
No.
I mean, literally the only other one that I can say, and it's because I liked it more than Mario Kart, was Diddy Kong Racing. Like, and that's the thing is like, it's, I think that with where we are right now, where gaming and streaming are 2 of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I think we're in a golden age, is because it is, there's just so many fucking options. Like I said, like, you just played The Last of Us. Did you play Death Stranding on stream?
No, I did not. That game looks. I wasn't very impressed with that game.
I wasn't sure if it was you or my buddy Booba that played it. I was watching, but so you played, you played The Last of Us 2. You're playing Ghost of Tsushima right now, and both of those games are incredible games.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost is, like I said, it's one of. There's people saying that it's going to be game of the year. They're saying it's that good.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I'd quite go that far. It's not being talked about as much as The Last of Us. Like it, hate it. It's definitely not getting talked about as much.
Yeah.
I think the graphics on Last of Us was better. The combat of Ghosts isn't really revolutionary.
I was gonna say, my thing with one of the reasons why I've been enjoying watching you play Ghosts. 1, because I'm not gonna play it, but 2, visually and kind of mechanically, it's very nice to watch. I think that's the best way I can put it. It's a weird thing to say, but like for the viewer, visually and kind of mechanically, even when you had your little stumpy arms come inside.
Oh my god, that was. Oh.
Like it's one of those things. Like, it's tough for me sometimes to watch. Like, it's tough sometimes for me to be able to sit down and watch Tim play, like Tim the Tatman play Warzone, or like when Dr. Lupo was playing Hyperscape when that first came out. And I wanted to watch that. I wanted to see what it was about, right?
Right.
So I watched him play it, and I'm like, I was like, after like a little bit, I was like, this is just boring as fuck to watch. Like, it's super fast paced, and I was like, this is just no. Like, I'm good. Like,
so one of my buddies, Scaldier, I think is how you say his name.
Okay.
He's the one who got me into streaming. I worked with him.
Yep.
And he got big on a game, Elite Dangerous. Now, probably never played that.
Nope.
It's spaceships.
I was gonna say I've never fucking heard of it. So.
Well, it usually sits about 1,000 viewers.
Okay.
Sometimes it gets a little higher. Sometimes it's a little lower. The day that it dropped out its newest release here, I don't know, probably a couple months ago now, it was up to like 50,000 people. But it never cracks the top 5.
Yeah.
Because when you play it, oh my god, is it incredibly boring to watch.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of ways you can make money. I mean, the game, you can do a lot. You can do pirate hunting. You can be a pirate. You can be a bounty hunter. You can be you can be a trader. You can be all these explorer. The exploring one's what I'm kind of into right this second. But not a lot happens during those. I mean, it's really, really slow paced, and it's hard to keep people entertained.
Oh yeah, well, and that's kind of that's my thing with the thing of like the fact that streaming streaming is also changing the gaming industry. I feel
it is
because
it really is.
For instance,
they're trying to fit more information in spots so it's not as dull throughout the whole thing.
Exactly. Like, for instance, right now, right? Because I wanted to look real quick just to to really hit this point on the head, the best that I could. So I'm trying to find the right game to do it with. Let's see here. Let's go with which one of these games looks fucking boring? Here,
Well,
Super Monkey Ball 2. Remember Super Monkey Ball?
isn't that the puzzle game where you have to like roll a ball around on platforms?
I think it might be.
'Cause I've never played it, but I think that's what that game is.
So right
I feel
now,
like, yeah,
there's 141 viewers.
okay.
If XQC were to play that game, because XQC's like viewership stays with XQC no matter what game he plays. If
Right.
XQC viewership were to play this right now, it would Super Monkey Ball 2 would have boosted up to 42,000 viewers, which would put it in number 8 or number 10 in that range on Twitch right now. So like it's very easy. I feel like it's very easy for these days now, especially with big communities like XQC, Asmongold, Summit. You know,
Big guys,
yeah, like the guys, like of course Asmongold only plays World of Warcraft, but these guys though that have a big community that do follow them no matter which game they go to, because like you'll see Tim will go to one game and his viewership drops. He goes to another game, his viewership increases. With these guys, with some of these games like XQC and Summit, their viewership kind of it's like it's there. That's what it is, right?
Right.
So like they could literally change the gaming landscape if they wanted to. Like imagine if XQC played, fucking Pokemon Blue for an entire month on stream.
Yeah.
Right, Pokemon Blue would be in the top 10 of gaming, like on Twitch.
Well, then you got to think about the repercussions of that too. Hey, this one person's playing it has 10, 40,000 people watching. I'm going to play it because not everybody's going to want to watch him, and they might peel off and go to my channel.
Exactly. So I mean, like, and that's the other. I think that's the second part of the dark age of gaming.
Yeah, it is being. I mean, what Ninja was going to boycott, I think, Fortnite until he got his own skin. And guess what? He got his own skin.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I think Dr. Disrespect is doing the same, and then all of a sudden, all the crap with him happened. And whatever happened there, but I feel like what a lot of people are missing out on is game. Even I wouldn't even say like the 80s, 90s. I'd say early 2000s to early teens.
Mm-hmm.
You had all of these games. I mean, realistically, like 2010 to like 2014, I think had some of the best games ever made in those time frames. And they did a great job of balancing the games between story, graphics, and all these other things. And they just collided so well. Now the big concern about story games, we'll just stick with story games for the second,
mm-hmm.
is these story games. They want it to be as long as possible.
Yeah.
And they try to make whatever they can to make the game longer. Like Red Dead Redemption 2. I love the game. The game took like 40 hours, 50 hours to complete the story.
God damn.
But if you added a fast travel system into that game,
it would have been
like a legit fast travel system. They kind of have one in there, but it's really wonky.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking. You're taking a 40-hour game into maybe a 20-hour game because you're not. I mean, there's some times where you have to ride clear across the map, and it takes hours to do that.
Jesus.
Now they feel that the game is graphically unbelievable. If you've never sat down and played it, watched it, do it because the graphics behind it. There was some times where I thought that the game was like a video camera walking down a mountainside because it was so crystal clear.
God damn.
And I mean, it looked absolutely breathtaking. But then it was like, oh my God, this is taking for absolutely ever. And I know Elder Scrolls is doing the new one, 6.
Yeah.
Whenever it's supposed to be released. It's not supposed to be for a while. But I've heard that what they're doing is they go out and take pictures of, like, just say a flower. And then they digitally render that flower into the game. So the game is going to look like it's real life because they're taking real life things and basically putting your character into that real life scenario.
Okay.
and that's why the new games are. The Red Dead Redemption 2 was 102 gigabytes. Yeah, it took all night to
I was
download.
gonna say that would take me like a full fucking day to download, maybe two. Jesus
And
fuck.
oh yeah, it's freaking huge. Well, now Call of Duty's sitting at almost
Yeah,
300 gigs because of all of its updates and stuff it's had.
yeah, I've seen that. And like
But
so like my thing with that is that like because like of course like you said like early 2000s. Like 2000s to early 2010s. And
right,
my thing like and it's one of those things that I've gone to I've said it before, and like it's what did we not have at that point?
right.
We
I
didn't have
mean,
people streaming the games and uploading games to YouTube and doing all this stuff. Like that wasn't a well-known thing, you know.
well known is probably the correct word because I feel like YouTube has been around just long enough. That's where it
YouTube,
started to grow.
yeah, YouTube probably had some people uploading let's plays of stuff,
Right.
but I don't think it's to the stage now where like, you know,
Like Jacksepticeye. He's one of my favorite YouTubers
mhm,
who has Jesus like 20 some million fucking followers or subscribers on YouTube.
yeah,
They've literally come to watch whatever, and you know what? I watch whatever because his energy is really the energy he has. But then you go watch him on a stream, and because he's streaming, that energy is not necessarily the same, so it's a little bit harder to watch. So I think at the same time,
mm,
it's not only streaming. Like some people are better to be streamers, some other people are better to be YouTubers.
yeah, and I
And
think that's I mean that's a great point you just made there.
so, I mean, I think depending on how you look at it, if you like battle royales,
Hmm.
it's a golden age because I mean, realistically, every other game released is a battle royale, and I mean, most of them, I'm pretty sure it was Apex free, and you just
Yep.
have to buy stuff. Yeah, and so is Fortnite.
Yep. So
Um,
the only real difference between the two, honestly, between Fortnite and Apex, is with, and I think it's the reason for me personally why Apex is a better game right now. Is the so in Fortnite there's a very base like there's a story that's being played out, but it's
right,
very like wishy washy. I think is the
right,
best way of putting it. But then also, like, you get to pick your character. You get to like edit everything on your character, from the way they look to the pickaxe, to the back bling, to all the dances and all this shit,
right,
right? So like the only thing that's really in the game is the different guns and the building. With Apex, there's the individual characters, and there's 13 of them. And each one of them is drastically different, personality wise, playstyle wise, and then you have the battle royale aspect of it on top of it. So
right.
that's
And I
my
feel
thing.
like
Is that that's why I feel like Apex is a better game, is because it allows players to connect more with a actual character than with just like, oh, this is just a game where I go in and I just pew pew and build a wall in front of me.
right, yeah. I mean, realistically, you could go either way to saying which gamers are better at playing games because I mean, Fortnite is you kind of are all more on a same kind of basic level.
Yeah.
Nobody got better gear. I know they have levels of gear inside the game,
Hmm.
but the same thing with
Well, that's and
Apex.
like that's the other thing though, is that like, so for instance, in Fortnite there's common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary weapons, and then there's
Right,
also boss weapons, which are like the legendary of legendary weapons. In Apex, there's the gun, and then there's some golden guns, and all the golden gun means is it already has all the gold attachments on it. That's all it means.
so yes, you're putting more people on a more level playing field, and it's letting the players
Hmm.
decide who's better, not necessarily what guns are better.
Like so,
So
like, and that's my like, and that's one of the reasons. Like I said, it's one of the reasons why I'm more of a Apex fan right now. One, the stories also I think is a lot better, and like they're doing. I think Apex is doing a great job with telling a story as well than Fortnite is. Um, through dialogue in the game, through the stories of the Outland YouTube videos that they do every now and then. to the most recent thing, which was quest missions.
Right.
So weekly there was a PvE mode. You know, that like advanced the story, and like, you know, it's leading us into season 6. It just ended this past week, and incredible. And now it's going to lead us into season 6, though.
Right.
You know, so like I think that like the way that they're doing it is really good. And then it's one of those things as well where the main reason why I feel like people will like, because of course it's always that thing, free to play, but you're free to play, but you will pay.
Right.
With Apex, you're gonna pay simply because like you get a connection with a character. Like for instance, Bloodhound. Bloodhound is a character on the game that a lot of people like to use. Bloodhound is gender neutral.
Okay.
The character is like in the game, the lore, everything about it is like about them is they them. It's, you know, non-binary. It's gender neutral. Hopefully, I'm using the right terminology. If I'm not, I'm sorry, everyone. But when I did a reaction to my one of my videos, I was saying they them the entire video. Right, I fucked up. I said he, and I corrected myself. And I actually got a comment from someone that is non-binary, and they were like, I want to thank you for doing that, because I have a connection to this character, because there aren't many characters like this.
So, going the same page is a lot of people were upset because in Last of Us Part 2, there's a character in there who was born female but wanted to identify as male, and that's what the game identified him as.
Yeah.
Was a he the entire time. You know, they said it at one point in time. He wanted to be a warrior, got told he was going to be a wife, and he said no, and so he disobeyed this directive, and now his clan was hunting him, basically.
Yeah.
So, and there was people who didn't like that portion of the game. They're like, "Oh, that's stupid."
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's like,
it's kind of the same with. Well, and that's the thing. It's kind of the same with Soldier 76 in an Anna story that they released, because Overwatch has been doing a really cool thing where they do challenge events.
Right.
And they do it every now and then. So it's like a 2-week event. You win 9 games. You get a spray, a legendary emote, or a icon, and then you get a rare legendary skin. And all you got to do is win 9 games. But it's a nice little event. But what they also do sometimes with it is they release a story, and the story like continues or tells more about the actual characters and everything. So in Anna's one, it announces the soldier is gay.
Yeah.
And everybody lost their fucking mind. Meanwhile, like, everyone's losing their mind. I see that and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, he's gay now. Yeah. Like, okay. Like, I like, you know, it's like it. You know,
they going off topic of games just a little bit. I just watched The Old Guard on Netflix.
How is that? I've heard it's incredible.
It's very good. We watched it, but so not going to give away a whole lot of the movie.
Where spoiler alerts in case anyone is watching and hasn't watched The Old Guard yet. Spoiler alerts.
Well, it's not a spoiler. They tell it pretty quick in the story, and it's not a big. It's not anything like, oh my god, oh wow. There's 2 of the immortals. They're lovers.
Yep.
And they support each other in the movie.
Okay.
And it's like, wow, you know, that's surprising. I mean, at one scene they kiss right on the camera, and it's just like, wow. You know, you don't see that very often in movies anymore. People taking that risk. But I think the day that we're sitting in right now, everybody's more supportive than that, than they're not supportive.
Yeah.
So I say we're probably in both golden and non-golden.
Yeah, it's one of those. Like I said, I think it's one of those weird ones where like there's aspects of gaming where it is dark, but there's also aspects of gaming where it is golden.
I think if you're, like I said, if you're into the battle royales and graphics, it's golden. Story-wise, I mean, I don't know if I'd say dark completely, because some games have absolutely great stories. I mean, Hellblade came out, I don't know, it's been a few years since Hellblade came out. and it's not a very talked about game, but it really should be, because the aspect behind that game, what they're trying to bring awareness to, which I can't remember is it psychosis? I think they were trying
psychosis.
to bring to is, I mean, that thing is fantastic. That story was great. It's, if you jump in at the wrong time, like if you just watched your most recent video without watching the previous videos, you'd have no idea what's going on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's one of those games that you have to watch it from beginning, but they never explain what's going on. And that part of that story is fantastic, because you had no idea what was going on. Why am I hearing these voices? What is going on? Why are they saying these things? And then all of a sudden, as the story is progressing, you're learning these things about it. And then it's like, oh my God, this is incredible. This story is about overcoming this.
Yeah.
And then that's why I'm so, like, I'm torn right now by buying a PlayStation and Xbox. PlayStation has some of the great exclusives. I mean, like we've already mentioned, so many, but that Hellblade game is just sitting there. That console is so good.
For me, what I'm gonna do, and I've talked to a few buddies about it, and I think I've said it on stream once or twice. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait at least 6 months, maybe even a year, and then I'll buy the new systems. Or new system. I think I'm just going to buy the Xbox.
I see. I probably get it day one. I did it with the Xbox One.
Yeah, see, I didn't. I got, well, I mean, I may have. I'm not sure now. But I have the Advanced Warfare Call of Duty 1 terabyte OG edition, because at the time, it was the only 1 terabyte that you could buy, was if you bought the Advanced Warfare version.
I wish I had it down here, but I have the day one edition Xbox. It literally says on the controller, day one.
That's awesome.
So, and they did have some issues, but you know what? When you pre-ordered it, they signed you up automatically for a club kind of thing, that they would send updates. Hey, this is what we're working on. This is what we're going to do to fix things. Hey, we know this issue is here. And it was really nice knowing that, hey, this is what's coming up in the next update. It was really nice knowing those things were going to come and expecting them. And they did. And so I didn't have a lot of issues. The only issue I'd have, if I had to say, with that Xbox is the disk drive ejector is probably not the greatest, but that's literally it. And it still works great, but I bought a new one because I wanted the 4K capabilities.
Yeah.
And I still have it. My wife plays it from time to time.
That's awesome.
So I will do the same. I'll buy the new one when it comes out. The nice thing about the new ones is it's going to be backwards compatible right off the bat. So I'm not trying to buy all these games.
Well, and that's the now that you say that, that's the other one of the other big reasons why Xbox has and like announced they're not doing any big AAA titles yet, is because they're still trying to work out the deals with those publishers, if I remember from reading it right, if we're reading an article right, because their whole thing is that, like, so for instance, if I buy Overwatch 2 for my Xbox One,
right,
they have a system in place where as soon as I get the Xbox X Series, I can then play Overwatch 2 on it, because I have it for this one. And
it sounds like everybody's going that way.
Yep, but the problem is, though, is that there are actually companies that aren't, like, agreeing to that with Microsoft. They're saying, like, yeah, we're not going to do, like, yeah, no.
They want Bethesda, probably.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the big reasons why Xbox is kind of, like, holding back on the AAA titles. But the other thing as well, though, is that if you look at some of the games, though, like, Microsoft does Halo. So even though technically, like, yes, Halo is probably a AAA title, I can almost guarantee that's going to be, it may not be day one, but it's going to be, month one.
I have a feeling that game's going to come out with the console, because that's what's going to sell the console.
Oh, big time. I mean, like I said, we've seen the graphics now for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We've seen the graphics for Hellblade 2. It's like, now imagine, and then we've seen just the very quick trailer where it just showed, like, the landscape and then the Master Chief helmet.
Right.
Like, visually, that game is going to be unfucking real.
Right. And so Valhalla, speaking of that, I watched that video, and I watched those videos pretty closely.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch it, I don't know if it was my phone or something, but the voice sync is off.
Oh yeah,
just a little, and it definitely looks like a game still in the process of being made, because there's some times where it's like, oh, that's a little buggy right
yeah,
there.
right,
Or,
yeah. There's like one or two scenes where you can be like, that
yeah.
doesn't look right.
But at the same time, it's not supposed to come out till November.
Something like that. I gotta actually look it up because I made the dumb decision of saying on stream and in my video that I'm gonna buy the most expensive version of the collector's edition and unbox it on
Oh,
stream, and yes, that's
that one
gonna be
might set you back a little
yeah,
bit.
that's gonna be a nice little $200
Most
buy right
likely.
there.
I think the most expensive one comes with a nice big statue.
Oh yeah.
Of
It comes with and that's the thing is all the stuff that it comes with. It's like it's fucking worth it. Like I get like a dope ass poster. I get a miniature statue. I get a big ass statue. I get a soundtrack of the game, which is Norse music, which I already love anyway. So like
right.
now that it's an Assassin's Creed version of it, is like I can only imagine. I get the season pass. I get all the extra free shit that's supposed to be in it. I get like the lithographs. So I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'm fine with doing this. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, I can't ever drop that, but I just have a hard time getting all that stuff. And I will
Oh yeah,
never
well it's like
use it.
so like
And it'll come
when
out. The soundtrack will come out free on YouTube.
oh yeah, well like so like for me, my thing is like a little bit off the topic, but the when Batman vs Superman came out, they had a version where you could buy the game and a statue, and you could either buy it and you get a statue of Batman or Superman, right?
Right.
And they like came with with the movie, and it was like
Right.
$120. And I'm sitting there like, so you're telling me I can spend $20 to buy the movie and then get $100 statue with it? Because that's how my brain turned it, right? Like,
Right.
and like, of course, I have statues in my I have statues in my bedroom, DC statues in my bedroom that are worth like $200-300 right now.
So I'm surprised you didn't say it along the lines. Yeah, I bought it twice so I could have both.
I thought I'm not going to lie. So like when I buy a DC movie, I take the code and I send it to my buddy Big John. And I thought about honestly, I 100% thought about doing it, buying both of them, getting the statues, and then sending the movie just straight up to my buddy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, he would fucking murder me if he found out that I did that, though.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would, because he'd want that statue probably as much.
Oh yeah, probably.
So, but yeah, that Assassin's Creed. Oh, that's the release date was a poor release date for me too, because Cyberpunk comes out the same day, I believe.
See, Cyberpunk doesn't intrigue me.
Oh, it looks really good to me. I don't know. The main reason why is because it was making it. CD Projekt Red is a fantastic game developer. I mean, if you haven't played The Witcher 3,
nope,
play it.
So
I'm not
like
a YouTube fucking video game fan.
I can't.
It's fantastic, dude.
So I used to have an assistant. I'm not gonna name any names. I used to have an assistant, and he used to play that game every fucking day. And he would come in, and all he would do was talk about it. But he wouldn't work. He wouldn't work. He would come in. He would just talk about it. He would then leave work early to go home and play it. Play it for 10 to 12 hours, not on stream, by the way, just by himself in his trailer, or in his like little trailer house that he had at the time. Play it, and then come into work the next day and do nothing but talk about it. And I had no fucking clue what he was talking about, and I had I didn't care either.
It is so good though. It's one of those games that's worth it, and it's a long game too. So it has so much good content in it, and CD Projekt Red they did such a phenomenal job. Like if you play Skyrim, which I love Skyrim, there's a lot of bugs in that game, a lot of bugs. But you kind of expect bugs with big games.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find bugs in that game because they just go through it with such a fine-tuned tooth.
Well, like the thing is, I will say it. Both of those games look great. The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, but I'm very much like I don't like a lot of big AAA names company like games.
I can understand that too. I'm the same way, but with like anime type things.
Hmm.
Like I'll like some anime, but like you give me like the big titles like One Piece or Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, I
Hmm.
can't stand it. I just don't like them because everybody talked about them. Like, oh my god, this is the greatest show ever. And I watch them, I'm like, it's
See,
okay.
I used to watch Dragon Ball Z, and I used to love Dragon Ball Z. And then something happened, and I stopped watching it for a little bit. And then I tried going back to watching it, and I was just confused. Like suddenly he's got like blue hair, then he's got purple hair, and now he has white hair, and now he has this hair. And now instead of it being like Super Saiyan 5, now it's just Super Saiyan, and then the color. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I just like at that point I was like, I'm good, you know.
Yeah, it's so yeah, like I said, I'm the same way. Like with but I like I won't say most, but I like a lot of the big AAA games. I
Hmm.
try to buy as long as they're intriguing.
Yeah.
Um, they, but those two games I'm super excited about. I might not leave my house for a week because of those two games and dropping $120. But I think both of them have stated that they're free to upgrade to the next system right off the bat.
That's awesome.
Cyberpunk said it. I mean, months ago. They said it like, yeah, hey, if you buy this on the Xbox One, we're going to give it to you for that on the Xbox Series X. It's just how we're going to work it.
That's awesome.
The only problem with CD Projekt Red right now was this game was supposed to come out a year ago.
Jesus.
It was supposed to come out in November last year.
Hmm.
Got moved to February. And I was okay with that because February is my birthday, my birth month. I was
Hmm.
like, okay, we'll have that for my birth month. Cool. And then it got pushed back to April, and then it got pushed back to September. Now it got pushed back to November. And the crappy part is they said when it got pushed back to September that it wasn't going to get pushed back again. And then
Oh.
it got pushed back to November. So a lot of people are kind of pissy about that. So it's been delayed by a year. But people forget that The Witcher kind of did the same thing.
Hmm.
It got delayed a few times. Well, it's the only game that I have ever played, that I have pre-ordered, that I pre-ordered it. The date was coming up in like 3 weeks. I was super excited for it. And then one Monday night, I got a phone call from GameStop. I was like, well, this is unusual.
Hmm.
Hey, your game's ready to be picked up tomorrow.
Ooh.
What? Yeah, they're releasing it early. Come pick it
Whoa.
up tomorrow. It's the only time I've ever had a game release early.
That's fucking cool though.
So I know CD Projekt Red pushed it back. Well, so a lot of the problems they were having was they wanted to release the game, but they wanted to build the hype up for it.
Yeah.
Like the month before, they were going to give it to reviewers, get the hype up. Well, because of all COVID, they haven't been able to do that. They just now have finally been able to get the game out to reviewers.
Mm.
They want to give those people a chance to play the game all the way through or whatever, the big portion of it, make their videos. So I have a feeling that they're going to build this hype up, and they said that they're moving it back to November to be able to move it forward. I have that feeling because they will do that. They said the game's ready to go.
God damn.
So, and can you imagine, hey, a AAA game, it got pushed back. Everybody's talking about it. And then all of a sudden, hey, we're going to release it early. We're going to release it way earlier than expected. It'll blow up. So that's why I like CD Projekt Red. And I don't necessarily say you need to play it because it's not everybody's cup of tea, that style, I guess. But you can come watch it here because I will be definitely playing it that day
Oh
when
yeah.
it comes out. And then I'll probably have to be doing split duty, play 2 hours of Cyberpunk and then switch gears and play 2 hours of Assassin's Creed because both just look absolutely awesome. And I love the fact that Assassin's Creed brought back the Hidden Blade.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. And then I don't know if you ever saw the picture, but they had a picture of, is it Elnor?
Yeah.
Swinging his axes.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we've brought something back from a previous Assassin's Creed. What is it? And so I stared at the picture, and it took me forever. but I finally figured out what it was. So back in Assassin's Creed 3, you had Connor with the Assassin's Creed axe.
Mm-hmm.
Eleanor is wielding that.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, that's pretty freaking cool that they're tying that back into that. Kind of show that those still collide a little bit.
That's cool.
And I was like, now I want to know, because now I want to know how that axe got to America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That may be a DLC for the game. Hey, Eleanor's going to America. Now, of course, we know nothing about it. Eleanor may die in the game. Who knows? But it'd be the first Assassin's Creed where the main character died, but besides Desmond. But
yeah,
we don't talk about Desmond.
Yeah, we all know that one. Yeah, no, I just So, COVID's impact on gaming.
Yeah, that's so because they haven't been able to be in the office, and I know that it's all computer-based stuff realistically.
Mm-hmm.
But
still,
I feel like it's going to be like the movie industry, that just because of all this COVID, they're not going to have. I have a feeling that next year, besides the AAAs that were already to be planned to be released next year and are in the final stages, how far are we going to get pushed back on AAA games?
it's going to be a little bit.
Like Grand Theft Auto 6. Everybody wants that game.
Yeah, it's.
It's probably not even in development yet.
I was going to say, I got to give props to Grand Theft Auto for fucking the way they've been doing things, because goddamn, like they were pumping out new titles like every 2 years, and then they come out with 5, which is a very good game, and then they had the idea of, you know what, fuck it, let's just keep building off of 5.
Well, then on the new, they announced for the PlayStation 5 that they're going to remaster the game for the PlayStation, and then, it's probably going to be both systems, I would assume, but I'm not 100% sure. But they're going to remaster it and re-put it back in and make the world bigger.
Jesus.
And that map, if I've ever played it, is freaking huge.
Oh, yeah.
They're planning on bigger and adding more story, it sounds like, into the game. And so I was like, that'd be kind of interesting. So I'd probably buy it for the new systems, because I loved 5.
I would say,
only one I think I've ever played actually, I know it's the only one I've ever played the story through.
I would say right now, and of course I know you're not a big fan of it, Apex is doing a tremendous job with COVID and working from home. And this entire last season of Apex, like, of course, they probably already had the majority of it done, other than maybe a bug or two here or there, right?
Right.
But they were able to pump out an entire brand new season of Apex that may be the best season of Apex we've had since the game's release.
See, and you wonder if the being at home factor takes effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because where my wife works, she works in a big office building making phone calls all day, and the company sent everybody home eventually because of all this crap, and they started making phone calls from home, and they actually saw an uptick in productivity because people weren't dreading to go to the big office building every day. They were, hey, I can get stuff from home. I mean, so that aspect of things, maybe the creativity flows a little bit more at home.
Yeah, maybe.
But at the same time, I feel like productivity for that standard, because now it's not, hey, John, come over here, look at this game.
Yeah.
What do you think of this scene right here? Oh, that's good. Oh, how about you change these things? Now it's emails or phone calls, and everything has to be emailed to here, to there, or sent here to here.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, even if we do get those AAAs that's still at the same pace, let's say they keep the same pace, I have a feeling that we're going to see more leaks, because if we're sending all this stuff via email, that shit gets hacked all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you can try to say it's on a secure server or whatever, but we all know that's not.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, because of course, so the big thing with Apex is, one, they added a character that they teased for over an entire season, right? Then they added story, and then they added basically a PvE story mode into the game, which was a weekly update. They had a event that just happened that changed an area on the map, and it was a really fun event that people were enjoying. So they did all this in one season, and it like they've set up season 6 so well. So my big question that I have is I want to see how good season 6 will be. Because of course, like I said,
Right.
they probably already had the majority of season 5 done and ready to go, other than a bug or two here and there that they fixed. You know, they're working from home, they fixed them. But
Right.
season 6, though, I think will be the battle pass of COVID. So it's going to be interesting to see how big it is. But from what we've gotten, the drop that happened at the end of season 5, like this season is going to be fucking unreal. Like and like that's a big COVID thing because it's they're at home working.
Right.
You
So,
know.
but I guess at the same time, you might be able to say, they can fine tune it a little bit better
Hmm.
because they can play the game at home. Hey, in a relaxing environment, I'm going to take these notes. Hey, oh yeah, this part has this bug. If I do this thing right there, and the developers or whoever can just fix them right at their home. Oh, hey, fix that code real quick.
Yeah.
So it may be even more fine tuned. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting next couple of years to see what games are going to do, especially for those battle royales and those live games.
Hmm.
Because you have to be on top of those things, and they're developing new seasons to keep content fresh. Because if you didn't, PUBG realistically, that game was huge, and now it kind of died off a little bit because I don't feel like they're doing that same updating everything.
Oh, it's very much like almost like it's kind of like what Fortnite has become now, because like me and my buddy Bach, we used to play Fortnite all the time. We used to play it every week on Thursday. That was it. He went off and joined the military, and we didn't play as much. Now that he's actually like out of training and everything, we can play a little bit more. We played
Yeah.
yesterday. We played 4 games of duos. We got maybe 1 or 2 kills the entire time, and everybody that we were playing against were just like they were trying so hard.
Right.
And it's just like it's a completely different thing, and that's almost like what PUBG is now, I guess. Because I watched something with Shroud, and he went back to play it, and he was like, "These guys are just these guys are try harding on us, like we're having to try
Right.
hard to kill these guys, like." So, and I think that's kind of where like those games are right now, is that like the community is like so like um dedicated that they're just so good at they're so good at the game now that just.
It's hard for new kids. It's hard to get into those
Yeah, I mean,
games
like
because you're
it's
getting
I fuck around on Apex and I can hold my own in a lot of games. I also fuck up a lot of games. I'm not gonna lie to anyone, you know. And Fortnite, I was getting to the point where I was kind of getting to that level where like I could hold my own in a lot of fights, but I was also fucking up a lot. The last few times I played Fortnite, I've just gotten my ass kicked every fucking time.
that's how I feel like if I went back to Call of Duty right now, is just get beat to pulp.
Oh yeah, it's just it's crazy. But like, and I think you're right though. I think that the games that are already, I would say like 85 to 90% ready, the ones that they've released the videos for, the trailers for,
Right.
they've said, I think those will be the big games that will come out. But I think it's going to be a little while after that, like maybe even a full fucking year after those games release, that we see big AAA title games being released, and instead we see small patches and small updates to games instead.
Well, I would say probably your big ones still or your yearly big ones. Maybe not Call of Duty because I think they're gonna ride this cash cow on
Oh yeah,
Warzone for
no,
a
yeah,
while.
Warzone is gonna, yeah, they're
But like Madden, you're still gonna see the Maddens. You're still gonna see
the funny thing with Madden though is that um
the
because
seasons in jeopardy, and they don't know if they
well
can
there's that
actually.
there's that but then also people are fed up. People are fed the fuck up with Madden. There's so many people online saying that they're gonna boycott Madden. They're not buying the new Madden. They're fucking done with it. Like they've done so much to fuck that game and make it just not a good game anymore. There's literally people out there saying they're not going to buy the game, and I'm one of them. I'm not buying the new Madden.
Really?
Yep, I've bought Madden. I have bought Madden every single year since I moved to America when I was
Wow.
13. I am not buying Madden this year.
See, I don't ever buy the Maddens on release date. Now, when NCAA was still big, I'd buy
Oh
that on
fuck
release
yeah.
date. But the new Maddens, I usually wait a while, and I'll either rent them or just wait because I used to love playing Madden, and it was one of the things to do. But
Well,
I feel like they've gone backwards a lot.
Well, that's the thing is like so over the past few years, they've decided to they've done a few things that have just completely fucked the game. One, they put all their time and effort into MUT, which is Madden Ultimate Team,
Yeah,
which brings in a lot of money for them. It does. It brings in a lot of money for them, but they put in so much time and effort in that they haven't looked at a lot of other things. Then they've started to try and do this story mode thing, and it's dumb. Every fucking one of them that they've done is dumb. I'm sorry. I don't care if you like it. If you the story mode of Madden is dumb.
See, I played it because I was interested in it, and if you're gonna make a story mode, make a story mode. Don't just make like a 3-4 hour thing, and then at the end of that 3-4 hours, here's the rest of it. Here you go away.
Well, that's the thing. Is like so literally. So the way that it basically the way that it worked, for the bit that I played anyway, was like you play like a 2 to 3 hour thing where it's like you do 2 college games if you win the games, then you do a combine thing, and then you do a combine thing, then you get drafted, and then it's just you're playing Madden at that point. There is no other story. You're just playing the fucking game.
That's what I'm saying. If they're gonna make the story mode, make a story mode. Make it to like where you win the Super Bowl, then kick it into Madden or something along that line, and make it interesting. Make it that ups and downs. You can drag that out for several years. You can even have that Madden element in there still. Make it that season kind of feel where you're just going through the seasons, but have that story element printed in there as well. Hey. Oh, this is a big game. He goes talk to the coach, or talking, kind of like how NBA 2K did it.
Well, and that's the thing is that like 2K they've killed it with their story mode stuff, their solo play. So EA was like, okay, we're gonna do that, and they've made it so bad. And the big thing for the last few years. You ready for this? This is the big new feature. You can celebrate, and you get to pick what celebration you do.
Well, right, and so I remember...
And it's like, okay, cool, I can pick to spike the ball, dance, or do something else. Meanwhile, my fucking left tackle won't block the D-end on a run play where he's supposed to block him.
Don't get me even started with fullbacks. What's the fucking point of the fullbacks in the game? Because they literally will whiff every block. If you literally take out that left side linebacker or that safety that's coming head on towards me, I would be gone. And you just veer to a different direction, and it's
so there's that. But then also the other thing is that so they've done all this. They've added special modes where DJ Khaled and Snoop Dogg are in the game now. I guess I don't fucking know because I'm not fucking playing those stupid modes. But my thing is so they're doing it and they're making the game for people that don't play Madden.
Right. So one of the things that really irritates me about and it's one of the reasons why I can't play the game almost at all is I'm not a great passing person.
Yep.
I'm a runner first. Then I mean, you go look back in my day when I was playing, the NCAAs and the earlier 2000 Maddens, late 2010 Maddens with my friends. I'd run for 400, 500 yards a game.
Yeah.
And I would score tons of touchdowns, and I'd play good defense. And I would almost never throw a pass unless I had to. But and I remember it was 4 or 5 years ago, one of the big features was the linebackers and the defensive backs wouldn't do the no-look swats.
Oh,
They'd just stick their hand. And they brought that shit back. They just put their hand up and knock the ball out, and they'll never even look. And that shit drives me crazy. Or the linebacker running with your running back who's 20 yards downfield. You launch the ball to your running back, and the safety from God knows where is able to run 75 yards, jump in front of the ball, pick it off, and run it back for a touchdown.
Well, it's like I've recently stated the way that they should list the new Madden is Madden 21. Which animation will you get? Because that's all it is. I can tell what's going to happen on a play based off of the animation that happens. That's how bad the game is based off of what animation I get as the play starts to begin. If I throw a ball up and I press Y with my wide receiver, depending on what animation he does, I know if I've caught it or not, or I know if it's been an interception.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is the catching. If you're a 6'8" tight end whose job is to catch it down the middle of the field, and the ball hits your hands, you tuck it into your arm, and then you get lightly tackled, and you just drop the ball.
Oh yeah.
Not a very good tight end.
Yeah.
That stuff drives me crazy because, I mean, you'll throw it, your wide receiver will catch it, physically catch it, turn around, start to make a football move, and then get tackled, and then the ball just gets dropped, and that's incomplete pass. It's like, if anything, that's a fumble. Come
Mm-hmm.
on, guys. Why
Well,
are we doing?
so the new one in this game is you catch the ball, you fully land, the defender hits you, your character goes back up in the air, and the ball comes out.
Oh
That's the
God,
brand new one that we've been getting.
And then the crap of the juggling the ball. Now that's been pretty long. That's the juggling the ball thing. Has been there pretty long time, but I feel like the defenders have like a 90% catch rate on the juggling the ball,
Mm-hmm.
while offensive players have like a -5. Because I've never almost seen, but like a handful of times, a ball get popped up in the air and my offensive guy catching it. It's always a defender.
Oh yeah,
Even
always.
though it's three of my guys before
Mm-hmm.
it gets to that defender.
Yep, 100%.
And I loved Madden, but then they changed so much, and it's just so hard to play anymore because of the bullshit behind the game of, oh, we're gonna try to make this
For
this
everybody.
way. Yeah. And what they need to be doing is, instead of trying to make the game, or I think they should have actual football people there. Coaches, whoever, somebody there saying, "Oh no, that's not right. Hey, fix this. This needs to be that way," because that's really going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do people miss blocks and that type of stuff happens, and you got to kind of have that into the game? Absolutely. That's what makes the game the game. If you guys made it 100% every time, I don't even know what would happen. It'd break the game, because if the catch rate
Well,
was
so like
100%.
and that's the thing. So like me and my buddies, we're play computers, and their quarterback will be like a 68 or a 70,
Oh,
and they go 20 for 20 on us, 500 yards and like 3 touchdowns.
yes, I play a lot of. If
So
I'm
it's like,
testing, well, how I have enjoyment in the game is I usually go create a team,
mm-hmm.
like all the best players in NFL, that I can physically put onto a team. I'll do that and just go and then go play the Miami Dolphins, because they're the worst team in the game. And then you get freaking God, the bearded wonder, what the hell's his name? Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Who's throwing like 25 of 26,
Mm-hmm.
3 touchdowns, 370 yards, and 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And I'm like, yeah, Fitzpatrick's never done that. So why are we putting that in a game where he's literally completing every single pass?
Yeah, it's yeah.
But then it's the opposite's true. When you go and you like, oh, I want to play as my 67 quarterback who has 99 speed, and you throw a ball and it just gets launched into orbit because he doesn't know how to throw a ball all of a sudden.
Yeah,
But yeah, or the 67 people over there, they can throw it perfect every time.
Yeah, it's fucking mind-boggling. It really is.
Yeah, there's your dark age shit for sports games.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I mean, like, so, like, I think there's some game, like, I think that for the gaming industry as a whole, COVID has kind of helped it a little bit, but at the same time, right this second, it's helping it, but in the future, it's going to really hurt it.
Yeah, because I don't know if you're going to get that interaction. I don't know. The games may be more creative, which maybe is a good thing, because I feel like we have so many cookie cutter games. So it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen. I'm nothing in a while has been like a new concept, really. I mean, Ghosts of Tsushima is a copycat of a lot of games put together. I mean, the combat's kind of based off of, For Honor, where you're having to like pick a stance, and then it's not having to choose where you want to swing the sword or block, but you have to like pick a stance for the opponent that's in front of you. The RPG, of course, has been played out, but nothing has been real original recently. I mean, Hellblade was. I mean, that was a pretty original game, having that psychosis front.
Yeah.
But you're not having those creative games that you once were. I feel like
Everybody
wants the next part of the series.
Yeah. Like I said, and it's a weird time. It's a weird time.
So I know Bethesda
Mhm.
is creating some new universe that they haven't released any info except for it's going to be like an outer space game. And that's fine and all, but I feel like that's been done a lot too. I like Bethesda in some regard. They fucked up 76 badly though. Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's kind of games are kind of boring right now. Nothing seems real.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. And I think that's one of the things where it's like the whole endorphin release from battle royales. That's one of the reasons why it's kind of killing it right now. Well, those games are killing it right now.
Yeah. Although, so again, remakes next month comes, or is it this month? It might be this month. I don't remember. I don't know if you ever played Destroy All Humans back in the day.
I played it a little bit, and I saw that it's coming back. I thought about getting it, and then I was like, I ain't paying that much. Never mind.
It has like $40, but I probably will just to hold me over. Another game that I'm looking forward to possibly is the remake of the Mafia.
Okay.
That game, I don't know if you ever played the original. That game was really good. The third one was kind of garbage, but the first two were really good. So but again, it's remakes of games. It's not remasters, I guess technically, but nobody's coming out with an original game. I feel like the first person to really come out with an original game be a pretty big game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cyberpunk, I guess you can say, is kind of original because nobody's really done a cyberpunky. I mean, I know I don't know how it's either Deus Ex or Deus Ex or however you say it.
Deus Ex.
I mean, that game, it's kind of based off of that game a little bit with the augmentations, but I feel like everybody's augmentated in Cyberpunk. So
yeah, I mean, and and I think it's one of those things as well where it's a coming up with a new game that lasts a while, but it has that longevity sort of thing, and I think that's where I think the last part of it is where the companies are, trying to get it. Because think about the amount of money that you put in the gaming companies put into a game, right? And then you get a game like Fortnite where they make how much fucking money a day off of microtransactions?
Right, and realistically a super simple game.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. We're gonna change this skin so it looks like this. If you put one editor down in a room and just have him make skins for a day, I almost guarantee you some dude could make probably like 20, 50 skins in a day.
I mean,
just easy. Yeah. Just like change this, change that, change this, change that. Do it like this, do it like that.
How many other skins are just different colors?
Well, and that's the thing. It's like right. So it's like you do that, and like you sell each one of them for $10 a pop. Some people are buying them at $10 a pop as well. It's just it.
So, I guess the question would be: are we experiencing the death of story-driven games?
Yes and no. We are, but it's there. We are, and we're not. What it is it's starting to become a thing of, like for instance, Mortal Kombat.
Right.
NetherRealm Studios have been doing a fantastic job with fighting games recently, and it's because they do a great story with the game, but then the games themselves are really good. So the most recent Mortal Kombat came out, I think, 2 years ago. I could be wrong with that. But they just came out with a DLC that added an entire brand new story mode to the game.
And if it wasn't $40, I would have bought it, or $30, whatever the hell it is, because I loved 11.
Yeah.
Or was it whatever?
Yeah, it was 11, I think. Yeah.
I saw that and I really wanted to do it.
But I think what we're seeing is a new version of storytelling. Because, like, for instance, Overwatch 2 is going to have a PvE story mode in it. You know,
Right.
so technically that's a story mode, but it's also a first-person shooter. You know, Apex Legends has the story mode in it, but technically it's still a battle royale. You know, so I think that that's kind of that's the newer direction almost, because it's one of those games where it's easier to produce new content for the game and constantly be able to put stuff out than it is about spending 2 to 3 years making a game and then selling it, and then like it's either going to bust or it's going to do well.
Right.
You know, so I
I'm actually
mean,
curious. I'm looking something up real quick. I'm curious if Titanfall 1 came out before Fortnite. Because if you really look at that, 2014. That'd be kind of interesting to see if Titanfall was the beginning of the story-driven multiplayer type of situation. Because that was the first game I can remember where they like made you play multiplayer to get the story, which was interesting. It didn't do very, very well, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
several years.
But then also, I mean, think about that though as well, right? So you have Titanfall, which leads into Titanfall 2, which leads into Apex Legends, and it's all the same universe. So technically, it's all the same story.
Right.
You know, so
Apex is made by the same creators as Titanfall 2?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's set in the same universe.
That's
so in Titanfall 2, Kuban Blisk is the main antagonist, right? He's the predator. He's part of the Apex Predators. He's a mercenary. He's the one that's hunting you down and all that. In Apex Legends, apparently, he's the creator of the Apex games.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. So, yeah, I guess I could see that, you know, we're into that.
I mean, so, like, the other thing is, like, if you play Titanfall 2, right? If you're playing the multiplayer mode, there's the R101, the R201, and in Apex Legends, there's the R301.
Huh.
In Titanfall 2, in Titanfall 2, the charge rifle is a weapon used to take down Titans. In Apex Legends, it's a sniper rifle.
Huh.
So, like, they've literally moved stuff over, and then, like, holo pilots, where you can throw dummies of yourself or decoys of yourself, is the same thing that Mirage does. Right? So, like, it's crazy to think about because, like, a lot of people don't know about, like, don't really get that. But, like, for instance, and this spoiler alert for everyone out there who hasn't done all the quests. So if you haven't watched it, go off now, and then I'll, like, do something to tell you when to come back. At the end of the quest line, you have a head of a robot, and the robot is Ash, and Ash was a mercenary from Titanfall 2. So you go down into this, like, bunker in the bottom of Kings Canyon, and there's the broken, one-legged, one-armed version of Ash with no head that's, like, plugged into, like, a giant system. You put the head back on, and it freaks out. And it's like, you know, welcome, you know, like, kind of like, welcome, you know, we're here. You know, like, it's time for the story to end here, but, you know, welcome to Olympus.
Huh.
So, like, it's just, like, it's crazy because it's such a, like, they've done a great job with interpreting the two of them, where, like, if you don't know that it's in the Titanfall 2 universe, as soon as you start seeing the little things between the two of them, then immediately it's like probably like you are right now, your fucking mind's blown, right? Like,
yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that they were the same universe.
Yeah, so, like, that's the cool thing for me is, like, because I played Apex first, and then I played Titanfall 2, and then that's when I was like,
shit, that's that guy.
That's when I kind of was like, that's when everything kind of started clicking, and that's one of the reasons why I'm more into Apex right now, is because the story is just, like, it's unreal, you know?
So they just took what they learned in Titanfall, retuned it to make it better in Apex.
They were going to make Titanfall 3. Right. And then they noticed that battle royales were getting big, and they said, "What if we did a battle royale, but in our universe?"
Huh.
And they wanted to do something different because a lot of the battle royale games are just a basic character that goes into the game. And they said, "What if we did specific characters that you play as that have abilities, and, you know, like your pilot does, when you play as them, right? But instead of having a
Right.
Titan that comes down, you have an ultimate move, like that sort of thing. So like I was like, as soon as I started like reading into more of the backstory of the game, it's like, holy shit, like this is fucking incredible.
Yeah, that's insane. I didn't and see that's type of stuff I probably wouldn't pick up on necessarily because I'm not big into a lot of lore on games. Like
Hmm.
I'll pick it up as it goes, but it'd probably be completely oblivious to me unless I had just played Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, that's I know that guy.
Hmm. So
Huh.
so that was kind of the cool thing for me with that, was, but
See, that's what more game developers need to do is tie their old games into the new game.
mhm.
I mean, so like some people were trying to say that Uncharted and Last of Us were the same universe. The problem is the last Uncharted took place like 4 years after the outbreak in Last of Us.
Yeah.
And it's like if you guys would have just done it a little better, you could have realistically combined those two worlds a little bit, made it a little bit more the same. Now I know some games you can't connect because I know Naughty Dog, or I think it's not Naughty Dog. It's not Naughty Dog that made Kit Crash, but you can't have those realistic games mashed with non-realistic games.
Mhm.
But yeah, it that would make the games seem a lot more fluid even if it's kind of like what the DC who's been kind of doing that. Like they kind of have all that same universe, or I guess
Yep.
Marvel technically. They're all the same universe, but they're their own story branches in that
Mhm.
universe. And I feel like you could do that'd be a really easy job. Hey, you meet this character in this game. Let's branch off of that. I know Uncharted tried it with some character, but I didn't play that one. But still, you could do that and make sure it's a character everybody likes or even dislikes. Realistically, you could do that. Let's learn about this character. How did this character become this way? See, that would be really interesting. Let's say Apex, for example. If they wanted to, I feel like they could have, instead of telling you the story of each individual player,
Mhm.
they could have given you a short story based like a mission.
Yeah.
And hey, this is what happened to get them to this point.
Well, and so the kind of the cool thing with it as well is that they haven't given like that many things on many of the characters. It's like we actually don't know a whole lot about most of these characters. We know a little bit from their bios and voice lines, but
Right.
unless there's a video that they release in their like unique, in their very specific art style,
Right.
or the most recent quest line that they've just started doing, yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing that we have to know much about these characters. So it's kind of cool because, like, right now we just did a story revolved around Loba and Revenant, and the next place that we're going, spoiler alert, we're going to a planet that is the home of Octane and Lifeline. So it's most likely going to be a season based around those two characters because that's the home planet that we're going to.
Right. I mean, and I understand why they're doing that. It gives the game longevity.
Mm-hmm.
Like you only do one or two characters here and there. But you say, okay, so say after the season's over and the characters have been, whatever the part of that season is, hey, we're going to show you how we got to this point. Let's go play this quick mission. You could realistically do that and it not take a whole lot of effort.
Oh yeah, but so instead of doing the mission, like that's the thing I was saying with the YouTube. That's what they do with the YouTube stuff. So like they did a Void Walker video, which showed how Wraith became Wraith, and like the whole situation with who Wraith is, and they just did one with Bloodhound, where it was like showing like how they became the way they are.
See, that's even cool too. You're still creating that lore,
So
but
what they did was they did the trailer, they did the videos, and then they released an event where they changed an area of the map based off of those characters that relates to the characters, and they do a huge event based around it as well.
huh? Yeah, see, they're doing it right. I feel like
Yes.
they're creating a world around their game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not big into the battle royales, they're still creating that story behind it. Maybe not in a fashion I like, but I guess they're still doing that. But now the question is Does everybody play that game just for that though?
Oh no, not at all. There's some
Or do
people.
you have
There are a few people that don't even like that mode.
I'm saying like
Yeah.
I'm just playing this game just to go in and kill a bunch of people and call it good. Try to get that victory.
Oh yeah, there's literally people that like all they play for is to get kills, to get get better ranked rating, and just all this stuff. But I mean, it's one of those things though. For me, with that, it's like with the game of Apex, like yes, you can do that, but no matter what though, the lore aspect of it is always there.
Right.
Because it's not just as simple as, okay, I'm going to load into the game and I'm just going to go find a gun and shoot someone. It's not, okay, I'm going to load into the game. I'm playing as Watson. Okay, who are my teammates playing as? Okay, they're playing as Lifeline and Caustic. Okay, cool. So this is our team composition, which means we're going to play more like this than we would if we were playing like this, if we picked these characters,
Right.
So there's that element to it.
You always want to have a good balance of people on a team.
Yeah. It's not just like it's not just like for Fortnite where it's like you load in and it's like, okay, let's just find out let's just go kill people.
Let's find all the guns, find the best gun, break a bunch of shit, and collect a bunch of materials so I can build the highest tower to show who has the biggest woohoo.
Yeah, exactly. But
so yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know about a lot of that about Apex.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things. Not a lot of people.
I can tell you right now, if we're gonna play any game ever together that like I have to choose between anything, I can tell you right now I'm gonna be a tank.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Because I like soaking up damage and dishing out. Like, yeah, I may get only that one hit in, but that one hit's gonna hurt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna absorb a lot of damage, but god damn it, I'm gonna put out some.
All right, so moving on to the final topic of the night, and it's been a reoccurrent segment since my stream wife decided to have it on as one of her topics, and she said that I should do it every week. It is my life as a.
I work for the Transportation Security Administration.
Boom, there we go. Okay, so what is that entitled from you?
Well,
and of course, say as much as you can. Like we and of course I said it. I think last week or 2 weeks ago. Say what you can, so you won't get fired.
Right. So, for people who don't know that, it's TSA. I'm a TSA officer. I work at the airport. I'm the person that takes your fucking bottle away that when it's cut is too big.
Yeah. It's fucking 5 ounces, not 7.
Well, yeah. Well, 3.4. 3.4, goddammit. Although if it's 4, I probably let it squeeze by most of the time. It's a lot of bureaucracy, and I'm trying currently to get out. I'm actually waiting to hear back from an interview.
Ooh.
I should hear back tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited to hear about that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not really exciting. It's not an exciting job. I mean, literally, I do exactly what everybody thinks I do. I can be mean. If you're mean to me, I'll be nice to you. If you're nice to me,
I was gonna say I can only imagine, especially in like an airport, right? Like that must suck. Like just dealing with because for me, I hate flying.
So we don't see the aspect of the hate, the flyers hating. That's usually the airliner's problem.
Oh yeah, but so for me though, the entire time I'm traveling there, I'm in the airport, I'm all of that. I'm not in a mood. I'm not in a good mood because I don't want to do it.
Right, and we have those people, but for the most part, you're probably still kind and courteous to people because it's what you were taught to do as a kid, and then if you didn't, your mom would probably backhand the crap out of you.
Yeah, I mean, my mom would probably also backhand the crap out of the kid that said something to me then.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So, but we don't see a lot of negative people, but I don't want to say it the rudest way, but people can be dumb.
Yeah.
I've heard some statements that makes me question some things.
Well, okay, so here, so what's the dumbest / best thing you've ever heard?
So we run all the positions. We change out every 30 minutes.
Okay.
So I was behind the big X-ray machine, which is not the big scanner. It's the actual where you put your bags through.
Okay.
And in standard lanes, most people know now that your electronics have to come out if they're larger than your cell phone. Your laptops, your iPads, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Has to come out being a bin by itself unless you're fancy and have pre-check. Lady did not take them out of her. She had a roller bag, didn't take out either her iPad or laptop. At the airport I was working at, we were allowed to send them back out of security, tell them to take it out, and then we can send them back through.
Okay.
So I lift up the bag. Hey, is this your bag? Yeah. Well, you left your iPad and laptop in this bag. And she looks at me with the straightest of faces and goes, "Oh, I thought they just had to come out of luggage, not bags." I had to stop for a second. And before anybody says like, oh, maybe she was old and maybe she had some dementia or just to understand. No, she was like college age.
Oh, good, even better.
Yeah, that's probably the most painful thing I've heard.
Okay, because I gotta ask it. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
A human brain.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, now was this okay? So hold up a sec. Was this like average Joe bag of donuts with a brain, or was this like an actual we're sending this?
It was a medical student.
Okay.
He was taking it to some doctor, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you said a brain for a moment, I thought of some hillbilly getting on a plane I'm taking this home to eat it.
No. He was definitely medical. That was definitely interesting. If you want to know what a brain looks like on the X-ray, it's exactly what you think it looks like. It looks exactly like a brain. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, that's probably the most interesting thing
I was gonna say that's a lot. I thought you were gonna be like a knife or
in 2.5 years I've been with TSA, I've caught 4 guns.
4 guns? Jesus.
Yeah, one bag had 2 of them.
Jesus.
Yeah, both loaded too.
Oh fuck me!
Rounds in the chambers.
Goddamn fucking people.
If you wanted to know, the fine for that, if you bring a loaded handgun onto the checkpoint,
oh god,
per gun is $10,000.
Oh my god!
So we're pretty sure that guy got hit by about $30,000 worth of damage.
Oh my god!
Could you imagine that, flying to home and got $30,000 worth of debt now?
That's crazy. Yeah, just fucking you get home and it's like say, "Sup, babe? I'm home," and it's like, "Oh, you are, huh?" Yeah. By the way, babe. Yeah, this thing happened.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah. So when I very first 2 months I joined, I caught a gun, and it was like an 1890s Colt Dragoon type of single action revolver by some old guy in his 80s who just bought it at an antique gun store.
Oh man!
Forgot it was in his bag. This thing, it was a laptop bag. Laptop bags are pretty standard size. They're probably 16 inches by probably 12 inches tall. It took up 90% of this bag. And it's I'm pretty sure it weighed more than the laptop. And when you took out the laptop, could you not feel that extra weight in there still?
Oh yeah.
He didn't get charged because
What's up, guys? Welcome to
it wasn't technically. It was still a firearm, but it was considered an antique in fireable condition. They just let him take it back to his car. He was like a retired air marshal or retired marshal or some crap.
God damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. And it's hard, I go every day, or most days, and it's hard to remember all the stupid things you catch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's of course, because I'm not a TSA, but some of the people that I work with, boy oh howdy, there's dumb things that have been said or done. One of the people that I worked with, don't work with her anymore. She once was telling me about how if the rich had less money, I would have more money because that's how it works. And then she was like, so she went into that whole spiel and about like how dare they have billions of dollars, like they're not doing anything for it, da 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 da. And then I leave to go to lunch, and I come back, and she's changed. They had this board where she put motivational quotes on it,
Right.
and the motivational quote was like from like Ted Nugent or something like that. It was like some multi-billion-dollar like guy, that like doesn't really do much for work anymore because he's already made his billions. And like the quote was like from them about how like working hard will get you to where you need to be or something like that. And I'm just like, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some dumb things. I always like asking the old people that I meet, like the older veterans, what the dumbest thing they've heard, and they have some pretty good ones too. I mean, it's pretty surprising. Like, I've never worked a retail job before, but I'm pretty sure this is how people would describe it as for retail. Just customers not always right. And the best part about my job is I can tell them that a lot of times. Is that you're not right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty fun.
Well, the one that I love is my buddy Big John. He's in college. I don't know if it was a professor that told him it, or if he just said it to someone. I want to say it was a professor that told him it, but like they said that your opinion is wrong. And ever since then, it's been a running joke in my like group of like college buddies that I have. Like that's been like a running joke of just your opinion is wrong, because like there's nothing better to say to someone than that, because it's the funniest fucking thing seeing their reaction.
That's pretty good, actually.
You stone face it, right? You stone face just look at them after they say something like that. And it's just your opinion is wrong, and just watch them lose their shit. Meanwhile, you're just like giggling in your head,
I had a history teacher in high school.
Mm-hmm.
She was dumber than a box of rocks, and she ended up getting fired at the end of the year because so many people failed her class on purpose to get her fired.
That's awesome.
I'll get to the part, but the main part of the story was she asked the class who had Native American in them.
Okay.
One girl raises her hand. I have Native American in me. The teacher looked at her and goes, "No, you don't." Like,
okay.
Excuse me? Are you the DNA tester just by looking? Because that'd be a pretty cool power to have.
Yeah, right. Cause I had something similar like that happen to me in high school. I took home ec my senior year.
Right.
Because, well, it wasn't home ec, it was more cooking. I was like, literally, it was a cooking class. And I took it because I was like, I get to cook food at school and eat it? Fuck yeah. Like,
right.
And at one point I said to the teacher, I said something and I said it in like an English accent. Because when I get drunk, my accent comes out a little bit.
Right.
I wasn't drunk in class, mind you, but my accent came out though on a word. And she said like, oh, that's a good English accent you have. And I was like, that's because I'm from England. And she looked at me and she's like, no, you're not. The funniest thing was that happened, and everyone in the class looked at her and was like, "No, Colin like grew up in England."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, he didn't." And it was one of the things where like I was literally like I was like completely stunned. I was just stunned. Like, what the fuck do I say?
That's when you always want to look at them in the face and go, "Do you have to remind yourself to breathe every morning?"
Yeah, right. Like I just like she. And the funny thing was like, so. She goes, well, how the fuck did she word it? She's like, well, you don't look like you're English. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? She's like, well, you don't wear tight jeans and you don't have like a button up shirt on. And I was like, yeah, because I'm not. I was like, yeah, because I'm not a nerd. Like what? Like what? Like.
Did her view of English people come from the 70s?
I guess. I think it like I was shocked. I came home, told my mom and dad, and they fucking died laughing.
Yeah, thankfully I've never had that problem, mainly because I've grown up here my entire life. Now, here where I live currently, I moved states here not too long ago from Colorado to Iowa.
Okay.
And people say I have an accent from Colorado. I was like, no, I don't. I might have some slang that I throw every once in a while that sounds like an accent. I don't have an accent.
There's
Tell
one
him.
of my buddies from college, Berto from Massachusetts. Fucking wicked smart. That's the only thing that I say in that accent, and it's because of him. It's because of 4 years of college football, and then 1 year of us being kind of just friends, and him coming like over like once every 2-3 months while I was like there for my 5th year. But that's the only thing that I say. Like I say in a Boston accent is that fucking wicked smart, you know.
So
And it's just
we
because
had
of him.
we had a lady transfer from Jersey,
Oh, Jersey.
and the way she says big bags.
Oh
It's just
God.
fucking we died. So everybody on the checkpoint makes fun of her accent,
That's funny.
and it's the best part because those Jersey folk, you can kind of pick on them because I mean they grew up in Jersey. That's probably the easiest picking on they've ever gotten is here, but she just laughs and it's not to say that I may not like the job I'm at right now, but you know what? I've had some good goddamn times with some of the people I've met, and
Well, that's good. That's good.
But yeah, I mean,
So can we? So will you give a first exclusive, right? Of you don't have to say what it is, but like just a hint or a thing, or like so your life as is possibly changing. So what is it possibly changing to? You can just give a hint, like just something, just a little something for us.
Well, again, it's all based on of if I get it tomorrow or not, but it's not really gonna be out there. I probably won't tell the company, but I'll be a shift supervisor.
Ooh.
So, for a company here in Des Moines that does security.
Okay, cool.
That's probably what I'll say. Probably I'll talk about it for the time being, just because I don't know.
That's fine. I wanted a little bit. I just wanted a little spice, a little spice to end to end the podcast. Yeah, man. I mean, do you have anything else you want to talk about? We've been going for a while, so.
This has got to be getting close to your record, no?
No,
2 hours and 20 minutes? Really?
no. I'm at almost 2:10 right now. The longest was. Oh, where is it? Here. Nope, that's an hour 50. That's not that one then. Where the fuck? Maybe it is. Yeah, it's getting up there. Actually, I thought my longest one was almost 3 hours. I guess I was wrong about that. No, this one. Yeah, this one's getting close to what? I mean, the longest one that I've ever had was 2.5 hours, and it was with and he just showed up in chat. I don't know if he's still here or not, but Eat It Pal. We went for almost 2.5 hours. That's the longest podcast. So, yeah, yours is one of the longest ones.
Yeah, he showed up on the 12-hour stream.
Oh yeah.
A while ago. I want to do a 24-hour, but the only way I'm going to do that is if I get that affiliate, and I'm struggling on those views. I can't get that 3 average. Sit at about 2 most of the time.
Well, you know what? We gotta do something about that. So for that, what I would do is I'm gonna tag you on all my posts about this. I'm also gonna drop a link to your Instagram, your Twitter, and your YouTube in the description of this video on YouTube, or your Twitch in the video, so people can find you. Because yeah, I mean, like guys, Bearded is doing something a little different with doing story mode games, but it's a lot of fun watching them play. I've had a lot of fun watching them play while I'm at work, just fucking around, and very underrated. I will say that straight to your face, sir. You are very underrated.
I appreciate it. I try to stop in once in a while, but you stream at times I'm usually at work.
Yeah, I've been kind of just getting on when I want to these days instead of my usual this is when I stream sort of thing.
Well, so right now the schedule is, unless I change jobs, but for right now schedule is at least Saturday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I will be on Saturday morning starting at 8:00. It's Central Standard Time morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. I try to play something story driven. Right now, like I said, it's been a hard time finding something to play because nothing has been really good. Now I've been playing Ghosts a lot, and I've been playing it a lot off stream too, but there's so much to do that game, that I can still play it on stream. And
Yeah, and you'll be fine.
yeah, I'm gonna start trying to look for more games. I'm trying to find a more RPG driven type of game, but that doesn't like an MMO RPG, but that's not an MMO.
Yeah,
It's been a struggle trying to find.
I can see that. I can see that.
I
But
want that kind of grindy feel, but I don't want to have the I don't know. They are super grindy in MMOs, and I just don't feel that much grindy. So,
true. Well, sir, thank you for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the opportunity to come on, man. If you need to have somebody, last minute dropout, for the time being, Sunday nights I'm free, so just hit me up. I'll probably be able to join.
Sounds good. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I normally try to get all of like the majority of my guests. Some of them have been 2-timers. I know I almost always want to get people on again because I think it's always interesting to hear how people are doing again after a little bit. So yeah. So I mean, the people out there, you will definitely probably be hearing from, Bearded Bigfoot again. But yeah. So I mean, make sure everybody, if you check this out, make sure to go drop him a like, and go drop him a follow, or go over, watch, hang out with him for a little bit. But yeah. So depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye.